The following is the opening match of the evening. And it is set for one fall. Introducing first. To my left, hailing from the Candy Kingdom, weighing in at 56,000 grams of sugar, Candy Floss. And to my right, hailing from the shattered remains of Rhia O'Reilly's wrestling career, the arm-barring, knee-dropping, bone-breaking, career-ending, she is the match of the night. Your Pro Wrestling Eve champion, Sammii Jayne.
Well, we've rung the bell and straight away we've got into the action. Dan Reed here sitting in for Ollie Bennett, joined by the shit talk queen, Jetta.
Hello, and if you know what, if we thought this match was going to go any other way, then you'd be stupid. Of course, Sammii is dominating from the start. I mean, come on. Candy Floss, it's all jokes and light, but at the end of the day, she's just not on Sammii's level.
Oh, kicked out at one there. Well, you've got to remember, Candy Floss, just 18 years of age. What you're going to find there as well is that her stamina is going to be great, but of course Sammii Jayne is only 25 years old and the reigning Pro Wrestling League champion. She won that title back in May. Jetta next to me, you're here laughing. She is.
You know what, Dan? You can talk about youth, you can talk about stamina, but just listen to the echo off her chest then when Sammii hit with that forearm. She just cannot compete.
Candy Floss ducks that. Oh. And Candy Floss took Sammii Jayne out of position there, went in for that candy armbar. Sammii Jayne rolls out of that candy bar attempt. Sends her into the ropes.
Oh!
You're enjoying watching this, aren't you?
I am enjoying it immensely. There's nothing I like more than seeing a cocky young upstart get what she deserves, and that's exactly what Candy Floss is getting. She came in here laughing and joking, smiling, laughing along with the crowd, and look where that gets you. Gets you getting battered by the Pro Wrestling League champion.
Sammii Jayne took too much time there.
Right in the head.
Now, Jetta, of course, you've got a personal interest in this. You are a business associate of Sammii Jayne. You've been involved in her training. Nikki Storm, of course, was one of your trainees. And, of course, she's gone on now to become part of the WWE and become a huge star and hugely successful and the only 3-time Pro Wrestling League champion. I understand Nikki asked you personally to be involved in Sammii Jayne. And Nikki obviously values you highly.
See, and this is exactly why Sammii Jayne is where she is in wrestling right now. Candy Floss might have hit her with, actually, let's give her a pretty decent chop there, but it is like water off a duck's back. And what does she get in return? A big, massive fuck-off drop kick for her trouble.
Oh, no. Do you take credit for Sammii Jayne's success?
I definitely take credit for the aggression that she's showing and the disdain she shows for the crowd, because again, Candy Floss comes out here and the biggest mistake she makes is she tries to make friends. This is pro wrestling. It's not a popularity contest. It's about wins and losses, not how many people buy your t-shirt after the show.
And Sammii Jayne with a submission hold right now on Candy Floss, and Candy Floss makes the ropes. Forces a break. One thing that we're seeing here is Candy Floss seems to get a few moments of in charge of this match, a few moments on top of Sammii Jayne, but Sammii is able to quickly end those particular moments and quickly end.
Oh, here we go. Here's my favourite move. Now let's just watch this in silence.
What, that was your favourite moves? Candy Floss moves out of the way.
Whoa. Hang on.
Double knees to the arm.
Sammii.
And again, that drop kick on the arm. Candy Floss is setting up for that candy bar. We've seen her go for it a couple of times already.
Come on, Sammii.
And the shoulder is effectively being kicked out of its socket by Candy Floss. Sammii Jayne needing to use the ropes to pull herself up.
Shit!
And it does not go her way, picking up those ropes. She gets...
Come on, Sammii.
She's going to try to hyperextend.
Right by the
She's going to try to hyperextend that. Candy Floss gets the win here. That's going to give her a good opportunity for the Pro Wrestling League Championship title shot.
But again, it's not that easy. Sammii is gripping those wrists there and right
shoulders
over into
down.
a pin. Oh, and here we go.
The shoulders up.
Come on, Sammii.
Look at her strength.
And I'll go back to my earlier point.
You listen to the thud on those strikes. It's not just that there's power in those strikes, it's there's intent to harm, which is a difference between the aggression of Sammii Jayne. Oh!
And that is a drop kick.
That is how...
Here we go.
Fans want to move out of the way.
Oh!
Because Sammii Jayne uses
Beautiful.
the momentum of that baseball slide to drop Candy Floss on the back of her head. Is Sammii Jayne going to the top rope? This is not something you see very often. Double knees.
And that is definitely it. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
And now she
And you know
ties
what?
up.
She could have pinned out. She could have got the 3. But you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's punish the young upstart.
This is an interesting variation on an ankle lock there. Oh, and she taps out.
Easy work.
and she has got a hell of a career in front of her, and she'll have learned something from being in this match with Sammii Jayne.
Go anywhere. You're requested to be in a non-title match tonight, and yeah, you won. You beat Candy Floss. Well done. But and I know that you're not a fighting champion like I was. You don't defend your title on every show, but there is a clause that if you're Pro Wrestling Eve champion, you must defend that belt once every 3 months. And that means if you do not defend it tonight, you will be stripped of that belt.
I really don't know where Rhia gets off. The power has gone to her head. The power has gone to her head.
So we're in a bit of a predicament, aren't we?
I forgot you were Miss Matchmaker. It's okay. I've already beaten 90% of the women in the locker room. So, bring it on. I mean, I could beat them all in the same night.
You could beat them all in the same night? Challenge accepted, bitch! Tonight, our main event will be for the Pro Wrestling Eve title, and it will be a Rumble match! And guess what, Sammii? Since you can beat everyone, you're gonna be entrant number 1.
This is just a blatant abuse of power. A blatant abuse of power.
Good luck, Sammii.
Well, we now know the main event here, but not made to be subtle. And hey, maybe Sammii Jayne should have been a bit more subtle with that ego of hers and not actually saying it out loud that she thinks she can beat everyone at the same time.
Maybe Rhia should be a bit more subtle about her hate and disdain for Sammii. It's very unprofessional.